so big you can call it Godzilla.
Hey, what's up guys? It's Paul here from Nuclear Cobra Gaming, back with a brand new video today. So today's video is going to be a top 10 in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This is going to be our first top 10 for the new Call of Duty, and top 10s used to be our most viewed videos, and I'm not quite sure why we haven't been making them quite as often, but it's a real shame that I haven't been making them a lot, because like I said, they are some of our most viewed videos. So hopefully I will get back in the groove of making a top 10 at least once every other week, maybe more often, maybe once every 10 days. They're a little bit more challenging to make and it takes a little bit more time, but in the end it's worth it, and I think you guys enjoy the videos more. So as you can tell by the title, today's video is going to be covering the top 10 weapon variants in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So these are basically the top 10 weapon variants that will improve on the original weapons traits and characteristics. As you can see, most of the general improvements take things that the weapon does not do well and improves them, while dropping things that it has excess of, or things that don't really matter as much when you're in a gunfight or for the playstyle that most people have. In general, you will see that guns that have plus damage and plus range being the ones that are generally preferred more in terms of basically variants and against other variants of the weapon. Now, not all of these variants can really be found. I mean, if you have all these variants, you're either the luckiest man alive, or you've gotten so many of these supply drops that you should really take a break and go outside for once. But anyway, these are basically my top 10 weapon variants in order. So before we start, I have 3 honorable mentions that I would like to basically mention, and they are the RW1 Rail Driver, which is just a fun gun to use. I mean, if you use the RW1, it's great, but not a lot of people use it, but when you do use it, it's a great one to use. Then there's the EM1 Poner, which is kind of nice, but I didn't include it in the mentions because it should be getting buffed here soon, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out to be one of the best in the game once that buff happens. And our third honorable mention is the SN6 Money, and that one is pretty good too. It just didn't quite crack the top 10. It was probably going to be number 11, but obviously, it's a great variant of the gun, but the SN6 in general just isn't one of the greatest guns there is. Alright, so let's hop right into the top 10. Alright, so coming in at number 10, we have the KF5 Spanner Elite. Now, this and its companion, the Breakneck, are both very good guns, but generally speaking, the KF5 Spanner is preferred because it increases the range of the KF5, which it definitely needs, whilst dropping its fire rate 2 and handling 1. It does have excess fire rate, not too much, but fire rate isn't that big of a deal. I mean, you could add, the perk of fire. You could add rapid fire to it to fix that, which isn't that big of a deal. And the handling isn't much of a deal. I mean, it's an SMG, it has handling to spare. But overall, it's a great gun. Either this or the Breakneck, they're both really good variants, but I prefer the Spanner. So coming in at number 9, we have the ASM1 Speakeasy Elite. So you will see the other ASM1 Elite up there, hint hint, but I do kind of like this one for its looks and the fact that it already has extended mags on it and the fire rate's up too. The bad part is that the damage and range are down 1 on this gun, so it kind of takes away some of the things that you need the most when it comes to an SMG. But in tight range, this gun just melts kids. You don't have to reload as much. It looks sick, and like I said, it just melts kids. You can add some advanced rifling to fix your situation real quick. So overall, this is a great weapon variant. Next in at number 8, we have the HBR Insanity, which is also elite. And the HBR is known for having pretty good damage, but the fire rate on it is terrible. So this elite puts fire rate up 2 and even damage up 1. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more, and it only puts the handling down 1. The only drawback that keeps this gun from being in the top 5, I would say, for me anyway, is the fact that you can't put an optical attachment on it, and I absolutely dread the HBR sights, I mean, some people like them, but I just think they're overly restrictive, and you might as well just run ACOG because you can't see anything else other than basically the guy you're shooting at, because the other couple inches around are just completely obstructed. I don't like it, but it is better than the original HBR. So coming in at number 7, we have the Moore's Quick Bolt, which is our first gun and only gun in the top 10 that is not actually elite. The Moore's Quick Bolt is the best quickscoping gun in the game because it puts up fire rate and takes down 1 mobility. Now 1 mobility isn't a huge deal, I mean it's just sprinting, you can put lightweight on, that'll more than fix your problem. But the up 1 fire rate is great because it's the only variant that actually puts fire rate up for the Moors, and trust me, every quickscoper will use this gun. And I mean, you couldn't ask for much more from the Moors. There are ones that put the damage up more if you're kind of like a hang to the back of the map and camp and hard scope. But if you're running around, you can't go wrong with this Moors. So coming in at number 6, we have the MP11 Goliath. Now, this is absolutely a beast of a gun. It puts up 3 damage while taking down 3 handling. So this thing, even with a silencer on it, can just kill kids so fast and with so few bullets because of its damage. Now Billy actually has this gun on his one profile, and let me tell you, he loves it. The MP11 isn't the greatest gun, but Billy can just go ham with this thing, and he's been close to a bunch of DNAs with it, and I'm sure he'll get one soon for you guys to watch. But the MP11 Goliath has to be the greatest MP11 there is, and if I had it, I would definitely be using it. So dropping in at number 5 is the ARX Steel Bite, which is elite. Now the ARX is a 4-shot gun, so it's not the greatest, but because this gun puts up 3 damage, you can basically get more people killed with your 4 shots than you could before with the regular ARX. However, it does take down 2 accuracy and 1 fire rate, so it's going to kick a little bit more, which makes it more difficult with the 4-shot burst, but that's alright. I mean, it's not a big deal. I think the damage up 3 is more important, and I think I have this on one of my profiles. I've been trying to use it, but I don't think the ARX is the gun for me personally. For when it comes to the burst weapons, I prefer the IMR much more, and that's why I only have the ARX Steel Bite at number 5, even though it's such a great variant. So coming in at number 4 is the ASM-1 Strider Elite, which I hinted at back in the number 9 spot when I mentioned the Speakeasy. So the Strider is better than the Speakeasy because it puts up 2 range and 1 damage, which is basically what most SMGs are missing. However, it does put down 3 accuracy, so you're going to get some kick, but just slap a foregrip on the thing and you'll be perfectly fine. This is better than the Speakeasy because, I mean, I guess it needs less bullets, but the Speakeasy comes out faster. But personally, I just like the ASM-1 Strider better, although I don't have it, but just looking at the stats of it, I would prefer that over the Speakeasy. I mean, I just think when it comes to an SMG, you need more power behind the gun because it does have good fire rate, but you need to bring up that range and damage in order for it to be the best variant possible. Now coming in at number 3, I have an interesting pairing almost, depending on what setup you like. If you don't use a silencer, I have the IMR Bore Strike Elite because it puts up 2 range and up 1 damage while only taking down 2 accuracy and down 1 fire rate. The IMR is known for having a great fire rate, so you definitely have fire rate to spare, and it is pretty accurate. You can just slap a foregrip on it to take away the -2 accuracy, but the range and damage makes it much easier to melt kids with your 4 shots that you have, so you don't have to waste another 4 shots killing kids. However, if you are a person like me that likes using a silencer, I would actually swap this one for a different IMR called the Hushed, which has an integrated suppressor with -1 handling. With this integrated suppressor, it's basically a +2 range for those of you out there that use silencer anyway, and it frees up a spot on your class setup so you could slap on an extra perk too if you wanted, which in my opinion is more important than up 1 damage and it saves you actually the 2 accuracy and the 1 fire rate. So if you are planning on using the silencer and you have both of these, I would go with the hushed. I did want to couple these two together because they are the same gun, they're so similar, and it just came down to one attachment. And I do actually have the hushed. I love it. I've dropped 2 DNAs with it. I can't complain. So coming in at number 2, just shy of our number 1. I mean just shy. I mean just shy of our number 1 spot. It's a great gun. It's the Bow 27 Obsidian Steed. It puts up 2 damage while putting down 1 accuracy, down 1 fire rate, down 1 handling, and up 1 mobility. It almost changes every single basically stat in the gun, but because of the plus 2 damage, I absolutely love this gun. I've dropped most of my DNAs with this gun, and because of the plus 2 damage, I find that it takes less bullets, even though it takes down 1 fire rate. And because I use the foregrip on it, the accuracy will be cancelled out. And overall, the plus 2 damage, you can't go wrong with the Bow 27 Obsidian Steed. I mean, it's just the best variant, I think, of this gun, and I mean, it's just shy of being the best variant in the game. So here we are, guys. Basically the most awaited part of the video, the number 1 spot, goes to none other than the AK-12 RIP. Now Billy is a proud owner of this gun, and he loves it to death and uses it and is great with it. It puts up 1 damage and up 2 accuracy while taking down 1 mobility and down 2 magazine. The magazine can be fixed with extended mags, and the mobility is not a big deal, but the accuracy gives it so little recoil, and the up 1 damage makes you need less bullets. This thing is just an absolute beast, and you cannot go wrong with it in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So there you have it, guys. That's my top 10 weapon variants in Call of Duty, and why I would like each one of them. Now, on this list, I only have 2 of them, but I mean, hey, it's better than none. Getting an elite gun that's really good is hard in this game. Even though you can get a supply drop pretty frequently, you just don't get the greatest stuff out of them. So that's about it for this video, guys. If you have any changes that you would like to see made, basically like to my top 10 that you disagree with me, or if you do agree with me, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, and if you didn't enjoy the video so much, feel free to drop a dislike. So hopefully I'll be making more top 10s in the future, guys. This was pretty lengthy, but I wanted to go really in depth with each of these guns. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.